Now, you would say that everything leads to swimming, but I was, in fact, a swimmer when I was a boy. And that was my most important experience because there's nothing like the rounded experience you get for the body when you are a swimmer. I want to be quite short because the president of our Intergovernmental Committee for Physical Education and Sport is also speaking later. I just wanted to show you sorry, no, now it's out. It's okay. The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization is a United Nations special agency, as Mr. Lemke already mentioned, that we have 195 member states. We work with national UN country teams all over the world. We have 57 field offices. The director of our field office is in Doha. Mrs. Pauline is in the room here. And together with UN bodies, we implement national and regional and international programs. We call ourselves the operational branch for the sports program, as Mr. Lemke mentioned it, because we have this mandate since the General Conference of UNESCO adopted a charter for physical education and sport, which states that access to physical education and sport is a fundamental right for all, and that was in 1978. And they established an international intergovernmental committee that advises UNESCO in the work that it does. And it is so, it's very curious that all the gentlemen sitting here on the panel are somehow representing one of these countries. Cuba is currently chairing this committee. Singapore is member of the committee. Qatar is member of the committee. Germany is member of the committee. Republic of South Africa is member of the committee. And Mr. Maglione would represent those who are the sport bodies who are together working with the governmental entities in a consultative council. Here you see a picture of one of these meetings that happened at the International Olympic Committee, that is also part of this consultative council. We regularly organize sport ministers' conferences. The last one was in Berlin in 2013, and it was decided together with the German authorities that we should look into three major issues. Access to sport is a fundamental right to all. For all, you have already heard, for instance, the gender imbalance of access to sport. But there is also the big problem of the handicapped access to sport. The other one is the public investment in physical education and sport. And here I echo what Mr. Lemke mentioned, that the governments have to be involved in the policy, and Qatar has mentioned this just very clearly, how you have a proactive sport policy. And last but not least, the issue of integrity in sport that might interest you in Fina, for instance, the doping issues. And what we do think is that the Swimming for All, Swimming for Life program is really aligning itself with the recommendations of what the minister said in Berlin, because you have to create a national sport vision with a national sport policy, and swimming can be integral part of it. We are currently rolling out worldwide national quality physical education guidelines. This is not because one says sport is simply good. Sport is a necessity, as Mr. Lemke has mentioned it. It's a necessity because, first of all, you have all the values you learn through sport. And then there is the joy and pleasure. But what people do not understand well enough is that the well-trained physical body is the best answer to non-communicable diseases. We do work with the World Health Organization on these issues, on physical literacy and the way how you move the body. And you have here a cycle showing all the different elements that influence a healthy body and a healthy mind. So you shouldn't only transmit knowledge in schools, but you have to, in fact, to create the rounded physical personality. And that's what we call in UNESCO, with the latest term, you have to create a new global citizen that has values, has attitudes, and has knowledge, and is able to move in this world. And this is already over. Oh, sorry, I I have to go to the other one. The interesting thing about this is that what we can do in order to accompany Swimming for All, Swimming for Life is to bring this into these national physical education policies, to advocate that swimming is one of the major features, because when you see now a kid doing sport, they always will show you a kid with a football. They will never show you a kid in the water. So we have to change this general attitude. And to do that, this is also happening out of schools for all these kids who are not having access to the beautiful pools in the open waters and rivers. And this is, of course, the issue of developing countries. So what we would mostly endorse as of today, together with Fina, is the work in developing countries, and this is where the United Nations has been created in order to make transfer of knowledge and means from those who have to those who have not. And I very much count on the richer nations to support this, and I already thank Qatar for hosting us and to discuss this. Thank you very much.